Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning edition of Hot Mic rolls on. One of the many exciting games over the weekend. Had back-to-back ones over in Moorhead. Concordia lost a barn burner with St. John's. The Dragons had Mankato up here. The Mavericks end up pulling away. Got a big lead in the fourth quarter. Dragons scored late. Couldn't get another one. Mankato ends up winning the game. Dragons dropped to 2-4 on the season as we welcome in Steve Laqua. He joins us each and every Tuesday at 10:35, head football coach at Minnesota State University Moorhead. We were just visiting off air about these games that you've proven you can beat the ranked teams. You've proven you can play with them. Just that now it's about consistency against the teams that aren't ranked that you need starting this week.
Absolutely. That's kind of the stretch of the schedule that we have coming up. We've been through the gauntlet. 6 games, 3 of them ranked, and I would say Wayne State. Well, if they're not ranked right now, they're going to end up being ranked, and so 4 out of 6. So I think the positive is, we've won 2. We're 2-1 against ranked teams. Okay, that's not something that we've gone to. We haven't been a ranked team in forever, and so we've got 2 of those. We've proved that at moments we can play at that level, and I think that's the encouraging part of, okay, maybe we're moving this thing forward. But to be able to actually move forward to that next step and next level is exactly what you said. We got to be consistent, and you got to be able to win the next weeks, like games against unranked teams when maybe you're not at your best. Maybe you got to overcome some injuries. It just is what it is. That's what puts you to the next echelon of teams, and that's where we're trying to get.
This is the Captain Obvious question here. How frustrating is that when you've seen it, you've seen flashes of it, and just we haven't been able to do that?
Well, it's frustrating because you want to be your best every week, right? And you want to maximize all your calls, and you want to coach a great game. You want the players to play a great game. And realistically, this is up and down. This is college football. There's upsets constantly. There's teams they're off or have injuries or whatever it might be. But we have to be at a level where our floor is high enough to weather that storm. And that's the next challenge, right? We've been slowly climbing, and you're like, okay, the challenge, beat ranked teams, be able to play at that level, have the quality of players that can do that. Okay. Well, now we got to push that bottom level up and make sure that we can sustain that over time. And so that's a good challenge coming down this stretch. And this week in particular, it's gonna be a great game. There's no easy game in this league. Everybody's got to show up every week.
Knowing full well what Mankato brought to the table, what was the atmosphere like Saturday? Home, it's a big game. It's Mankato. Describe what that was like and having a chance late in the game.
Well, really exciting, right? It's homecoming. We went down there and on their homecoming last year. I think it was their second or third biggest attendance ever at that place. And there's been a lot of games there, and we play at 21-21, and they go and score at the buzzer at the field goal, and that was a heartbreaker down there. And it's very similar. Halftime, we're sitting 17-12. There's some plays that got away from us, or maybe settled for a field goal down in the red zone, which was like last year, like just couldn't get it in the red zone, and had an opportunity in the fourth quarter. Came away with nothing in the red zone down at the 5. And, we had chances, but when two really good teams go against each other, like it's going to fall out different ways every time. And we got to if you make all the plays, you get a win. And if you don't, you don't. And we've seen that in ranked games. That's college football. That's the excitement. We were in there. We just, at the end of the day, they give them credit, right? They're a top 15 team in the country, top 10. They made great plays and won the football game, and we were right there. We just didn't get it done.
What was the mood of the guys afterwards?
You know what? Disappointed, right? Definitely disappointed. You lay it on the line. There's things we're trying to, right? We beat a ranked team for the first time in forever. Duluth we haven't beat since 95. We haven't beat Mankato since 1981. And now 2 years in a row, we're down to 1 score down the stretch, the last kind of drives of the game. And you're just saying, close. But like what I told the team on Monday, said, well, this is how it was with Duluth. Slowly, we're close, not quite, heartbreaker. And then finally, we found a way to get over. Okay, well, this has been close, heartbreaker. Okay, well, we're not there yet, but hopefully we're getting there. And somebody told me a long time ago, and we kind of started this journey in Moorhead, he said, hey, you guys are really bad. First, you're going to lose by a lot. Then you're going to lose by a little. Then you're going to start to win by a little, and then you're going to start to win by a lot. Yeah. And so it's a long way. And we've seen that maybe at different phases with different teams. Like, hey, we've never beat Mary, for instance, before we get the paddle. Okay, now we've won whatever it's been, 6, 8, I don't know how many in a row. Great. And we've won by a lot. Well, now we're slowly Duluth. lose by a little, win by a little. And so it's a journey with every team. Hopefully we're just continue to get better.
You got another guy, Class B guy, that's catching passes for you, and Madden Thorson. Give us the backstory on how you got this guy out of Western North Dakota to come play for you.
Well, anytime it's Harvey, North Dakota, I pay attention because they destroyed Cavalier through my stretch there. I got a lot of bad memories on the Harvey football field. And so Madden is actually, his uncle is Stevie Keller, the head track coach.
I did not know that, really.
At
Okay.
MSU.
Wow.
And so there's a little bit of connection.
Okay.
Stevie Keller was the quarterback that kind of destroyed us at Harvey. And so it's like, okay, we got to pay attention. Madden, super great track athlete in high school. Was one of the best 300 hurdlers in the state. So he's got speed. He was at our camp and just was making plays all over, just shaking guys out and looked exactly like you said, your typical Class B show up, but made plays. And so we were fortunate enough, obviously, that he became a Dragon and he's continued to get better week in and week out. I think he had 15 catches, Saturday and really stepped up. We'd had some guys that are playing through injury and he needed to take a bigger role, and he took a bigger role and was able to carry us.
You're telling me Keller was a pretty good quarterback? I got to ask him that next time he's on the show.
Unbelievably good quarterback, and I don't think he lost to the Tornadoes. Thank goodness he was a little bit older than me and graduated, so we at least got a couple wins. I just told him that recently, and so those connections come back. You know, it's in recruiting. You see that too. There's some players that their dads you played against and you know the names, and so you're excited about maybe how that can play out and connections that can maybe lead into future Dragons.
To have Gage's success, how much did that opens your door? You're already recruiting Class B 9-man guys or in that particular area really hard anyway, but to see a guy like Gage have the record-setting year he had, does that open more eyes, or for you to say there's other pockets we can find players in?
Well, absolutely. And if you look at it, a lot of people say our wide receivers have a look. They're 5'8", 5'9". They're not the biggest guys in the world. They run around and make plays, and they do. But you know what? A lot of teams, they don't use those guys. They want to line up and they want to throw 4 passes to a guy and have him block all game. Well, that's not their strength. We're going to line them up and throw them the football. And so if there's a guy that is built like that has the skill set to be able – this is a great place.
Yeah.
There's not very many teams that use guys like that effectively. And you know what? Madden's been able to do that and elevate himself. And just like Gage, and those doors have been open, and we continue that hope they open, and we keep getting guys that can be in that mold, that look, and do a great job for us.
5 games left. What's the message, Steve, as you start this week with St. Paul?
Hey, one week at a time, but to go to St. Paul, tough place to play on the road, perfectly capable team, really good running back that, okay, if they can control the ball and keep it away from us, that's really tough. It's kind of the Winona plan that could unfold in front of us, but basically said, hey, go in and be the aggressor. No team is going to give you a win. They're not just going to hand it to you. It's not going to be easy. It is going to be a battle. And so go in and be aggressive and go take it from them. And so that's Coach Bull used to always say that. And he said, team's not going to give you the win. You got to go in and take it. And so I just kind of dusted off the message from Coach Bull, and hopefully it'll work.
St. Paul is the site of maybe one of the most famous Dragon wins of the last 15 years, right? You'd say?
It was a wild comeback. I don't know what the legend grows. It feels like it was 96 yards in like 40 seconds. I don't know if it was actually that. You remember the kind of the stories that go along with it of one of our coaches in the box just kind of like your passes out in celebration afterwards. It took him about 20 minutes to get out of the box. He was just all over it. My wife looking at me funny after the game, like I said, wow, it was something. She had a weird look. Well, she had taken the kids to the bathroom because she thought we lost. So she didn't see the end of the game. And those are the things you remember maybe more so than the crazy catches by Gibson and Ambrose.
Well, you guys got on ESPN that day. I remember that Corey Ambrose was on SportsCenter that night after making that play.
We did. And Jake Hodge was just, down in Rochester when we were down there for the Winona game and got to talk to him. That game didn't come up. There were a lot of other things, but that was a wild game. It was, that's college football. That's what's great. Those are memories that stick with people for a long time.
You look at how the league is played out. You mentioned Wayne State, where they're at. Augie, who has just the one loss. That was, of course, to you guys. Is it, when you see where we're at halfway home, is this about what you thought going into the year?
No, I don't know that I would say that. Because there's been a lot of surprises. Duluth 3 losses. I think
Yes.
they were preseason maybe picked to win the
Yep.
league. Minot has done a fabulous job so far in winning games, and so there's some things that definitely have caught us off guard.
Mm.
But there's going to be a lot of things that catch us off guard here for the next 5 weeks. I'm pretty confident of that also.
How health-wise are you doing right now?
Well, I think we're like any team that's played 6 games. We've been battling ups and downs and craziness. We've been without guys in certain positions and limited roles for guys. Guys played injured, guys don't practice a bunch, and probably some pretty key guys. But we're finding a way to make it work. I think everybody's like that, so no excuses there.
At this point of the year, just is this more a mental than physical? Just for, especially for your, like, okay, we got practice again today. Let's go. Like at this point of the year where it's been up and down, is it more of a physical or mental grind than a physical one?
There is a mental grind that comes in right now. I think, especially after air quotes big game. It's homecoming, a ranked opponent. Everything's on the line emotionally, and then there's kind of this fallout a little after. And that's our job as coaches. We've got to springboard them out of that. It always starts with the Monday morning meeting, but you feel like you got to get that out by Monday and move forward. And so I think the good thing is it's probably not realistic to have this high level of energy and excitement every day at practice, but you have to have a high level of focus and commitment to being able to get the job done. Sometimes you walk in there and business-like, and you just grind through it and you do what you need to do. And I think our guys are really resilient at that.
Before I let you go, is there a spot you like to hit on this trip down to St. Paul? Like, do you have a certain place you guys go, or is this do you not have any great spots you need to stop at?
As long as we don't hit any cars, any medians, anything like that, it's a successful trip for us. We're going to stop at the same place we stopped last time, get a Subway in Avon, Minnesota. Those people have been great to us. And we just drive in, do our deal. It's the same schedule, rinse and repeat all the time. Try and arrive the same time. We've got the warm up, the walkthrough, the meetings, the movie, the meal. That's how it rolls. So I'm not a lot of change up. This is same thing day in, day out.
It's great to see you as always. Thanks for the time. Good luck. Safe travels on Saturday. We'll talk next week, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Steve Laqua joining us, MSUM head football coach. Dragons on the road this week. Take on the Bears from Concordia, St. Paul. And we'll see how they do. 2-4. I know that's not what maybe many on the outside thought. I didn't. I thought they could win 8. The most they can do in the regular season is 7 with the losses they've had. The Mankato one, you didn't think they were going to win anyway. It's the McKendree one, the Wayne State, the Winona one. Those 3, you're thinking, man, that's not how you thought this was going to play out in 2024. And it was like the back end of it now, it's St. Paul, it's Minot. Now, Minot State's been better. Mary, Bemidji's in there, and Southwest State. There are 4 really winnable games in there. Whether they do it, that's a whole other story. We'll be keeping track of that here over the last month and a half of the season. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap things up. We'll get you ready. Got a great Sports Tuesday. We got college football tonight. And some other smart aleck fans say who else the Jets are going to sign. And we got a train shot to take us to break. We'll wrap things up after this.